Okay, sequence name like SEQ1. Okay, this is syntax over here. Okay, but we cannot use this object in 2008 R2. We have to have 2012 Microsoft SQL Server for this. Okay, at least. So I will connect for different instance. Okay, this is the first create sequence name, a sequence name. This is a sequence keyword. Okay, we can see as integer. Okay, it is asking for a data type of the sequence. It may be character, it may be integer, or it may be something else. So it's again asked for start, from where we have to start, we want to start, and increment by. We can assign different values over here, and this is a minimum maximum value for next circle. Okay, it is a cyclic process. Okay, if you want to no cycle, then you can do it, otherwise you can make it cyclic process. So again it will reset to the minimum value. Did you get it?
Not really. You may have to go through this one more time.
Okay, so this is the object. I'm just giving you idea about each and every syntax over here. Okay, why it is associated. Sequence object means similar like identity column. Okay, it will be start at some value. Okay, it will increment by whatever interval we are going to give. Okay, and it is also, we will also specify the minimum and maximum value for that. Okay, so I have just created this, means not created it, it just syntax, and I will also show you how to use it. Select next value for this sequence. Okay, I just created.
What's the purpose for no cycle?
No cycle means we don't want to reset the value to minimum value whenever it reaches to maximum value. Okay,
Oh,
if it is by default it is cyclic. Okay, so whenever the here you can see the maximum value is 99. Whenever the sequence reaches to 99, it will automatically reset to minimum value 1. Okay, so this is a default behavior, but we have said over here no cycle means whenever it reaches to 99, it will give us error that sequence is reached to maximum value, it cannot increment further. Okay, I will just create, and I will just try to show you how it works. You can see it is incremented. Okay, now it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, likewise. Okay, so I will create one more table as invoice. Okay, okay, over here I will create invoice ID. integer, okay, and item name as varchar. I will just take two columns over here. What I can do, I can use same sequence as a default value over here, so that whenever I not specify the value for invoice ID column, it will take from a sequence. Okay, so how can we do it? I'll just put over here default, okay, and inside the sequence I will put okay, next value for invoice. So I will just create this table, and I will just insert into I will specify value only for name column, and values will be
Hello, Datta.
yes.
So in create table, I mean, you just mentioned a wrong spelling, so it's gonna show error. So you can just rectify that one. Create table.
Huh?
Instead of invoice, you just typed it as invoice.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks for correction. So create table, table name, okay. Okay. So then I have to create new table for this. So correct it, okay. Okay, invoice. And I will specify item name as at item 1. Okay, so you can see I will insert value for only one column, and other columns value will be automatically populated. Select all from table invoice. Okay, we will see what it contains. It contains 4 and item 1. Okay, so where do they come from? This value, the 4 value is come from the sequence, because 3 values we already populated. So next value was 4. Okay, by this way we can work out. Otherwise, what we can do, if we want to share the same sequence within more than one table, then what we can do, I will just create one more table, invoice history. Okay, first I will create current invoice. Okay, and then I will create invoice history. Invoice ID int, invoice date as date. Okay, there may be other columns as total cost. Okay, it may be again float value. So I will again create one more table. I will create almost same number of columns. Okay. History ID I will create as integer and I will set it identity. Okay, 1 comma 1. So I will not specify value for this. So what I will do, I will share same invoice ID between the two tables. Okay, means I am sharing the same sequence with this table and this table. So in this case we cannot insert or we cannot set default value for this, so we have to take care of this manually while inserting data. Okay, how we can do it? I will just declare one value variable as var type of int, and it will save next value for a sequence. Okay, equal to next value for this sequence, invoice sequence. Okay, and then we use it the variable into while inserting data, like insert into current invoice values. First, for this invoice ID I will use this variable var because it contains the data for this invoice sequence value. Next value is date, so I will specify 01/01/2017. Okay, and total cost is 100.25. Okay, similarly I will insert data into invoice history. Okay, till time I have not created table, so I can change the name. Okay, the values will be, I will not insert value for all columns, so I will specify the column list over there. I will specify value for invoice ID. I will specify value for invoice date. And again total cost. So second table is history table. It will contain all historical records. Okay, so I will just create first these two tables, and I will try to insert a record into both tables. Okay, so you can see I'll just again select all from current invoice and select all from invoice history.
Data?
Yes,
I'm kind of lost after you created the second table name invoice history. I don't know where we're going from there and what's the purpose of that.
sorry, I didn't get you.
I said I'm kind of lost after you created the third table that's called create table invoice history.
Okay,
Now I don't know what we were aiming for there. I'm kind of lost here. what's the purpose?
What's the purpose of the table?
Well, yes, and what we are trying to achieve here, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
what I'm trying to achieve is, okay, there are two table, okay, just like I have some invoices, okay, it is a current invoice table I am just creating, okay, and some there is data for historical purpose, okay. So what I wanted to do, the when I want to search the some record in invoice history table, which is historical data, I want to put the same invoice ID over there, okay. So you can see this is history ID. This may be like very huge because it contains huge data, historical data, but I am putting this invoice ID, which is the in current invoice, should be same in history table, okay. So I can search on that ID. So what I will do, I will share same sequence for this both, means whenever I treat the insert data between these two tables, I will share same sequence ID with help of our sequence object. I have shared this value from the sequence object while inserting data into both tables, okay. So it may be part of a huge store procedure. Whenever our invoice creation is complete, I will insert two records. One is in current invoice table and one is in invoice history table, okay. History table we keep always for every transaction for future purpose, whenever it may be as a backup, we can say, okay. And we can search the by sequence number, okay, because current sequence we keep normally in a current financial year data, okay. So we may go for and truncate it or just leave it in a backup table, okay, archive it. But invoice history table will be only used for the some research or some debugging purpose if there is some issue in transactions, okay. So how can we relate this both tables is by using this invoice ID common column. This is a common column over there within both tables. So what I will do, for every transaction I want to make sure that this invoice ID should be same value for same transaction, okay. So we are again processing same one transaction over here, and after completing transaction I will start this value. I have calculated this total invoice value, cost value, and I am just inserting these two values into this date and the value into both tables, like current invoice and historical table.
Now, in the invoice history, I see there are one, two, three, four entities, and
Yeah,
you enter values only three values. So,
yeah. This is identity column, so I don't have to care for this really, because it is just for identity of that column only, okay. So there may be multiple records in history table for same invoice ID, okay. For same invoice ID, we may insert multiple records in history table, because history table doesn't care about the primary key, because it may contain other detailed record also. So we separately maintain primary key as a history ID, and again it's identity column, so I have not taken care about that, and I have taken care only for three columns which were necessary, okay. So I will just show you how it works. You can see in my result, when I just select star from all from current value, current invoice and invoice history, you can see this 5 value is shared within a two tables. So whenever I want to do more data in history table, I can join on this value, isn't it? So this history
so
ID is separately created. It doesn't mean,
okay, all right.
okay. So again, in second transaction, if this suppose this is our second transaction, in if I give some other value like 02, and again here's 02, and total cost is suppose something different, and again I want to insert data. So these three lines will be the part of a big store procedure which is calculating invoices, okay, and creating invoices. So you can see this again, it will share the same sequence number for the inserting value into both tables, okay. So this is the purpose of sequence object. And uh, is it relating your idea? Because I have already said this identity column is totally binding to only one column of only one table, but this sequence object is very independent and it can be shared the value between another objects. Okay.
So let me get this straight. Let me see what you did. You created a sequence table,
Sequence object.
sequence object, and then you used that sequence object once in invoice table, right?
Yeah.
And then you also saved whatever the value is coming from the invoice sequence object. You saved as a variable, and then you can use that variable whatever
Yeah.
in whichever table you want.
Yeah. I will again summarize. I have created some sequence object over here. I have explained you multiple ways to use the sequence. How we can use it? I can use simple select statement and I can fetch the next value from the sequence. Okay. Also, what I can do, I can create one table and where I will set default constraint by the value of the sequence. So over here I don't have to create, or I don't have to again care for that value of invoice ID. Like it is a totally will behave like identity column. Okay, because I have put over that in a default value, and I have also given you example how it will work. So I have given only item ID, item name, column, specified value for this column and not specified value for invoice ID, and still the value got inserted as a similarly like a identity column. Okay, and again I have shown you that how it behaves. Okay, so it was a 4, and if I again insert value, it will insert a next value within this column. So maybe now it is 6 or something. It is a 7 because already 6 value was consumed in earlier. Okay, so again I have created two different tables to show you how we can share the same value of the same sequence within two tables. So I don't want to insert 7 and 8 because 7 is already consumed, because so that I have stored that 7 or 8 whatever the sequence value in some variable, and I have used the same variable while inserting data into two or multiple tables, more than one. So it will share the same value within a two table, and I have shown you that how it works. It is sharing sequence number for a invoice ID column. You can see invoice ID column in the upper table and sequence invoice ID column in lower table. Both are sharing a same sequence ID for the same kind of record. So this is the record. Alter sequence object name and restart with a 98. So if you see, a sequence restarted. If I insert the value, then it will come as next value, maybe 98. Okay, you can see the 98 value is populated, and I will again populate value as 99, and next time it will give error because it reached to maximum value. Can you see? So in this way again we have to insert or reset it to minimum value like 0, 1 or something else. So usually we don't use the reset sequence, so maybe we will fetch it to 50. We are just practicing it, but in real life example we never restart it. So for that purpose we keep the range as maximum like big int data type, and it will last for like very bigger number. Okay.
Hold on, give me a second. Whose thing is unmuted or muted? It looks like there's a background noise. Okay, it's gone now. Continue.
No, I'm unmuted, but it's not coming from my side.
Okay.
Okay. So did you understand that you can restart the sequence for any particular value? Okay, we can restart sequence with 50 or some value within an interval within given minimum and maximum value.
Okay.
Okay, so this is another benefit of the sequence object. Okay, and main thing, a sequence object, like whenever we use identity column value in transaction, so it will never roll back, but sequence object can roll back the value if we don't use it. This is the main benefit. So I will just show you again while studying this transaction over there. Okay, so that's all for the sequence object.